morning. Today I'm here at Upton Nature Reserve and I'm here to do a little bit of bird watching and hopefully a little bit of bird photography. It feels so good to be back out in the field. So just life, combined with gigging, combined with bad weather, it's meant that I just haven't been able to go out. But even though it's been absolutely tipping it down recently, and even though it's actually still quite drizzly and grey at the moment, I'm still really happy to come out. I'm really glad I did, because the second I arrived here at Upton Warren, there's been 2 water rail just right underneath this hide. I've seen 2 kestrels, even though I didn't manage to get any shots of them. So far, it's actually going really, really well. I'm glad I made the effort to come out while it's raining. So yeah, the plan for today is check out the hides, attempt to stay dry, and hopefully we'll see something cool. But for now, I'm gonna have a coffee and I'm just gonna chill out a little bit.
The water rail is generally known to be quite a secretive bird, so I really was pleasantly surprised to see just how brave and confident this one was. Quite often coming out into the open, walking along the open water and walking along the cut grass. It really was a great start to my day.
I just dropped down to the water rail hide. I'm a hunt for, water rail, even though I've already seen them up top. But directly in front of this hide, there's a little channel which leads out onto the main lake itself. Now, a little grebe just swam on down, and I've just spent 5 minutes just watching it dive under the water, surface back up, and eventually it actually managed to catch himself a little fish. But I was just having a little game of, once it dived, just trying to work out where it was going to resurface again and see if I could get a shot as it was coming back up. Now, I didn't do too well, but I'm glad it managed to catch himself a fish either way, even if I didn't get the shot. So yeah, I'm happy with that. Gorgeous little birds. I just heard it before I saw it. I was checking out some birds on the far part of a lake and I heard a kingfisher really close. So took my camera down from the birds on the other side and I saw it on top of some reeds. Now quickly moved to get my camera on the kingfisher on the reeds close up, but all this stuff happens in a split second. It flew off annoyingly, but it only flew off and landed like 2 meters away on a nearby perch. So turns out I decided to come down here just at the best time, because I just got some really beautiful little photos of a kingfisher sitting on a perch with some reeds in the good old background. This morning is actually going really, really well. Usually when I come to Upton Warren, it's one of these sort of reserves where this place has so much potential and it gets so many amazing birds, but I'm just a bit unlucky when I come here. I mean, last time I spent like an hour trying to find a case I dropped. But today, I think karma's on my side, luck is on my side. It's all going really, really well so far. It's been a really successful morning so far down here in the moors. You know, the little grebe, the kingfisher, the water rail, and even a brief little appearance from a sedge warbler. But now I think it's time to head on off, and I'm going to head on over to the flashes to see what's available. I'm also quite interested to see how the water level is doing over there, you know, considering all the rain we've had. So, let's get a move on. I've just made it to the flashes, and as expected, water levels are quite high, so we'll have to see how it goes in terms of waders when I get onto the next hide. As for what's directly around me here, well, truth be told, there's not actually a lot here. I mean, there's been one little reed warbler just chilling in the reeds directly below me, but other than that, a couple of mallards, a couple of crows and jackdaws, so nothing too much out of the ordinary. As far as conditions go as well, the drizzle has started to come down a bit more, and it's certainly got a little darker and a little greyer. But I'm undercover, I've got my coffee, I've got some snacks, I'm doing alright. So I'm going to chill here for maybe at least one cup of coffee's worth, then I'll head on over to the next hide. So then folks, I've given it about an hour here in Cuckoo Hide, and while there hasn't been too much, you know, what I have seen has been pretty cool, you know. There's been a little flock of long-tailed tits knocking about, which are always great to see. The reed warbler has been really, really cool. And I've also been really happy to see those shoveler as well, because I think they're the first ones I've seen, well, since the start of the year. Likewise, further up on the lake, I believe I saw a big flock of teal, and again, first ones I've seen for the year. So anyway, now I'm heading on to the next hide, where hopefully, with any luck, I'll get a better view of those teal and potentially come across some waders. So while I was up in that hide, I was trying to find some. You know, I had my binos and all the scrapes and whatnot, but couldn't see anything. So we'll have to see how this one goes. I have just this second arrived at the far hide here at Flashes. While I can't see any waders just yet, there is actually a kestrel just hunting above the scrapes. So it just landed on a post on a fence on the other side and was scared away by another bird, which is kind of cool actually, because it means it's pushed him back into the air. So yeah, with any luck, he might actually come pretty close. So yeah, fingers crossed he comes a bit closer, but you know, it's always just amazing watching these guys just hovering, swooping around, hovering again. You know, they're such beautiful little birds. The colorations are gorgeous on them. Yeah, not a bad little start. Let's see what else we can find. of time just scanning all the different little banks and shores and all the different scrapes for anything, potentially cool. Now, while I've been looking elsewhere, I didn't realise that 2 crows had come in and scared off my little kestrel friend on the far side. So I'm not actually sure where he's gone. But yeah, until I find him again, if he does come back. In the meantime, I am just going to continue scanning all the different little banks and shores, hoping for something cool to pop up, because I'm yet to find any waders. No sandpipers, no snipe, no dunlin, nothing. And it's actually kind of surprised me, to be fair, because yeah, I would have expected to see some. The conditions are pretty cool. The water levels are high, but there's still mud around. There's still areas where they can feed, but this is just how it goes, really. This is just this is birdwatching 101. It's standard scenes down here at Upton Warren. I've been here in my hide now for around maybe hour and a half, 2 hours, and still haven't actually seen that much. And the sky is getting properly grey now. It's drizzling on and off. Now, this is where patience really comes in, because I keep finding myself, going to check my phone, going to check Instagram and whatnot, and you can guarantee the second I do is the second something cool pops up and I'll miss it. Like an osprey will fly over, a harrier will fly over, and I'll just see the back end of it because I was too busy looking at some stupid post. So yeah, at times like this, I've really got to remind myself to keep my eyes on the water, keep my eyes on the skies, because yeah, this is when something will pop in. I say that, it may not. This could be one of those days where I spend all day just looking at pied wags and a couple of teal. And if that's how it goes, that's how it goes. I've got no problem with that. Happy to be out as usual. But it would be nice with something cool to fly on in. So then folks, I gave it a good few hours in the bottom hide, and although we didn't see too much, it's still been absolutely incredible finally getting back out again. It's been way too long. But anyway, with that, I just want to say thank you so much for watching as usual. So please like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already done so, and I'll see you at the next one. Cheers.